22 days now until the election, and day by day, there's plenty to talk about. Various factors building in the race for the White House. Joining us now to talk about just as many as we can, Fox 9 political analyst Blois Olson. Blois, good to see you.
Good to see you, Leah.
As we know, no one wants to turn a natural disaster, Mother Nature, the effects of a hurricane into something political. But like it or not, it is being talked about in political circles, having various ripple effects. Talk about what you see as some of the greatest impacts of both Hurricane Milton and Helene.
Leah, I think the greatest impact is the misinformation, I think, that's out there about FEMA and the idea that the campaigns would use it. That's a different dynamic. Hurricanes have hit before. I remember when Governor Chris Christie appeared with President Obama and Republicans pushed back about that and said it was an issue. Then there's just the logistics of voting in these states that have been impacted. How do they make sure that their polling places work, that they have enough volunteers or election judges? So I think the impacts are so far unknown, but I have no doubt that it will have an impact on the election as we get closer to Election Day.
And right now, there's also new talk of diverting money from potentially overseas to folks who need it in these hurricane-affected areas. But for all those pieces to go into place within 22 days is kind of a big ask.
Yeah, no, it is a lot. And Congress, is in the middle of its own election, and they're going to have trouble doing it. So the Biden administration is going to have to divert that money and maybe, look at how they're going to replenish it from other places later, because it's very unlikely that Congress is going to meet just to deal with the storm bill. We know how hard it is just to get a continuing resolution through Congress. Now we have to get a storm bill or a disaster relief bill through. That'd be really tough right now in this election environment.
Well, we know we feel a little spoiled, but thankfully our weather has been relatively good here, really good. And Governor Tim Walz kind of taking a break from the campaign trail this weekend. He was at the pheasant opener yesterday in Sleepy Eye. He was watching a Mankato football game on Friday night. Just talk about your thoughts about just his presence and kind of taking a break. He's going to be in Wisconsin again tomorrow, so he's not taking a long break.
Yeah, no, there's not really any days off for Governor Walz right now in this campaign. So, yeah, he took a break, but it was the pheasant opener, and he got to go to a Mankato football game. And those were political events, but they were probably much more comfortable for him. There wasn't a rally, things like that. He got to stay probably, in St. Paul or in Minneapolis where more comfortable, probably a little more family time. So, yeah, no, he's going to need those breaks, and we're just not that long to go. So he's probably not that many more breaks yet he's going to get.
Talk a little bit about, where traditionally elections in the past, or big presidential elections, we're so used to seeing so many TV commercials and things like that. Things are very different. You called it kind of a stealth digital campaigns that are kind of keeping things quiet. Expand on that for me.
Well, we know through marketing that targeting online is very effective. They know who you are, they know what your preferences are, and that has moved to politics. We used to have competitive congressional races, remember all the old TV ads and radio ads, but now you really don't see as many of those. Minnesota doesn't have as many competitive races, but the competitive races we do have are very geo-targeted, either digitally or even the TV ads are through streaming services or very close to home, and so you don't see it. So it loses that feel, I feel like, Leah, that it's so much at stake and so-and-so versus so-and-so is such a big race. We don't feel that and see it now that they use those digital ads and targeting.
And I don't know how I got on one of these lists, but if you have any tips for getting my cell phone number off a couple of these lists, I got random texts from both sides. Like, how did I end up on this? So I got to work on that.
Yeah, they've made it so that the rules don't always apply to them when it comes to spam or text spam. And trust me, Leah, I know what it's like. And at first I'm like, oh, this will be interesting. I can use this to observe. But after a while, you don't want to click on the links because they even make those sound suspicious.
Exactly. Yeah, be wary of those. All right, Blois, always good to talk with you. Safe travels back here to Minnesota. We appreciate your time.
See you next week.
Thank you. All right. See you.